Do not rush at the junkyard.
What didn't I do? Explain that. What happens when you rush to the
Yes, this is what happens when you rush. You find kibbles and bits in the oil pan. Even though the plugs look good and it's spun free, and the head looks like it's been done, and this and that, and the pan's already been off, and a new gasket, just pull it and check. Don't end up like me.
All right, y'all. So on the agenda for today, basically I don't know if I went through. This is a fake tattoo, by the way. All right, so I'm gonna go through basically what happened. Long story short, with the Vito sitting over there, this is what happened. Food for thought: if you ever break down on the side of a highway, or on like 40, if you're like any major highway, 40, 87, 95, 85, whatever you want to call it, whatever, whenever you're at. If you are planning on leaving your vehicle there over 24 hours or more, like you got stuff going on or you need to get money or parts to figure out what you're going to do, pull off into the grass. Do not stay in the breakdown lane. That's what happened with me. So basically what happened was on Sunday, this past Sunday, I was driving back from Conover and the alternator went out in the Volkswagen. I'm pretty sure I mentioned something about it. And so did the Expedition. We got the Expedition fixed. Anyway, when I proceeded to go get my car back on Tuesday, the car was gone. I thought somebody had stolen it, and nope, it was Highway Patrol called it in. So basically, if you break down, you're in that on the paved section of the highway in the breakdown lane. That's not meant for you to stay in there because either A, somebody can hit it, B, somebody can steal it, or C, it can get towed. Now with me, it was C. The car got towed 1 mile away from where I broke down at, and it cost me almost $305. And another thing is too is that you're going to be irritated if it does happen to you, but don't take it out on the towing company, even though their rates are probably absolutely ridiculous. If you go in there and you're an asshole and you're mean about everything, then they're not going to give you any leeway. If you come up to them, you say, "Hey, look, I didn't plan on this happening." You know, even if you give them a false story or just be nice to them at all, they're gonna work with you on it. That was me. When it happened, I want to be so mad I want to cuss somebody out, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Walking in that door and being rude, not going to get you anywhere. So he worked out with me. It was a regional auto center, and they were just doing their job. So, they towed the car a mile, and it almost cost me $305. Whatever. He knocked it down to $200, so he took $105 off of me. So that's fine. So today, what we're going to be doing is finally putting an alternator on the Volkswagen and making sure that is what the deal is with it. So we're going to go over here and take a look at this thing real quick and show you what's going on. Definitely a huge thanks to Alex Norwood for helping go along with me and get us the content. So here's what the deal is. This is a 12 valve VR6. And we've got to pop the alternator out. So first step you're going to want to do is undo your battery terminals right here, always, because when you go to pull that terminal bolt off the alternator, if you don't have those things unplugged, it's going to get you. It's going to get you good. So anyway, here's what the deal is. I've seen many people do this differently. So I've seen people remove the whole intake manifold because your alternator sits right here. I've seen people pull the intake manifold off, the whole clip. If you notice right here, I have the front clip loose. Like, it's not attached at all. It's pushed over here. If you were to remove the entire front clip, you had to remove lower radiator hose, blah, 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 all that stuff. We're not trying to do that because I'm not trying to go through the coolant thing. The biggest problem is, though, is that getting the alternator out. Getting to it's fine. Getting it out is a problem. So this gives you that extra little bit of space so you can pull the alternator out. And it probably just had to come from the bottom and you had to put it back up and work your way. So anyway, let's go and get into that real quick. So to relieve tension on this belt tensioner, you need M8 by 1.25 by 60 millimeter, 1 bolt. That's all you need. It threads right in this thing right here. So, and then you have to remove the tensioner as well to get to that alternator bolt. But this just relieves tension on the belt. You don't have to be doing all that stuff. Time is of the essence too, because I know there's some damage can be if you take the tensioner off and it's left too long. I don't know. That's what I heard. So, but yeah, you just want to see if I can't flip the camera. Oh, I was taking a picture. I don't know if you can see it or not. Right there. And just thread it end of that like that. I'm pretty sure I have one of these bolts here. So if you notice, got a little tab back here. It's going to put pressure on that and it's going to relieve tension on your belt. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick when we get back the camera on. Get the camera back on. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, now, it's hot as mother chicken. Sun's right on the car. Anyway, so after you do that, relieve tension on that, and you pop the belt off, just the alternator right there. You got 3 13mm bolts on the tensioner you have to get off. 2 are accessible by socket, 1 you have to do by wrench. And voila. So there you go. 3 13s. And tensioner comes off. Should anyway. Yep. There you go, you got your tensioner. So you see it, tension relief right there. So there you go. We're gonna set this right here for the time being. Alright, so now we have access to that bolt, and I think that's a 13, honestly. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's a 13, yeah. Should be a 13. So got a ratchet right here. Go through. Yeah, 13. There we go. Top bolt's loose. So it's only another bolt. I'm pretty sure the 13. There's another 13 on the bottom we're going to find. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. I have the alternator out and we'll go through. Also, there's every alternator, if you worked on a car before, you know it's got like a little eyelet thing. It goes on top of the alternator. And, what the hell did this? Anyway, it goes on top of the alternator. You got to undo that one. So undo the little eyelet that's on top of the alternator. Undo the plug. Now I'll free it. So I'm going to go and do that real quick and then I'll recap everything. Alright, y'all. About 10 degrees hotter now. Feels like anyway. Probably because it's in the sun. Alternator's out. Is a pain in the ass to do. Because it's on there. And you got to get this right here wedged in between the alternator and the block. Thought this one going out. We got it out. Also, one of my pet peeves was the bolt right here. I think it was an 8 to get that off, and that's a 12 to get that terminal off, and that just pops off. Mine was already broken. So anyway, let's take a look and see, make sure the alternators are the same. Come close to my face. We ain't got no boogers. I'll tell you something. Also, I would do a write-up on removing the front clip by putting it in the service position, but there's been so many people that have already posted about it. It's not really much point for me to do it, just because if you can go and look at the video and you can do it, then you can do the alternator and you come here and watch the alternator video. If you look at the front clip and you can't remove the front clip, then you probably shouldn't be going on there. This is not even being mean about our situation. This is what the deal is. So I'm gonna go and make sure this thing's right, and then we'll get back on the money. All right, so we're gonna take a little bit of a dive. So here's what happened. Basically, this is off 24 valve, which some of these were on 12 valves too, but I guess it just depended upon the alternator amp you had. I can't really tell what this one was. Okay, 120 amp. Okay, so 120 amp, and this one is, I can't see it, 120 amp as well. Okay, so they're both 120 amps. Well, the pulley size is different and the spacing is different on it. The belt's not going to go on the one that Steven got me. However, I tried thinking about putting the pulley on there, but the pulley's not going to fit on there because one's bolted on. It appears one is pressed on, maybe. I don't know. I can't tell really. It looks like it has threads on it, but anyway, basically, what the deal is I did some research. Come to find out, they have removable regulators. Now, I don't know for 1,000,000% sure that it's my regulator that's bad. However, 95% of the time, usually when you're dealing with alternator problems, regulator goes bad. It's a faulty regulator. So if you look on the back of these, they have removable regulators behind this casing. So you remove this casing right here, you split it, and this regulator comes off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to take the regulator off of the alternator Steven gave me. They are the exact same regulator. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this regulator off and we're going to put it on the old alternator. And it's going to be a lot of work, but it's not really that much work putting the regulator off. But it's just the alternator, the fact the alternator, we're taking a dive and I'm basically guessing on if it's that or not. Probably is. So we're going to go through, basically, to remove this, you remove these two. Well, you have to remove this, obviously. Take that off, take that off, take that off. This casing, plastic casing comes off. And then it's Phillips screws that removes the regulator, and the regulator comes up and off. I'm just going to basically put it on the back of that one. We're going to put the alternator back on and see if it works. So let's do that real quick. Let's knock it out, and hopefully I didn't damage the alternator trying to get the damn pulley off on this one. So we'll see. But go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to straighten these fins up because I kind of like boogered them up a little bit trying to get the pulley off. Just trying to straighten them up because they're there for cooling. And then try to put the damn thing back on and see what happens. Damn camera. Still not working. Had enough. Alright, so that last little Phillips head won't come off, but anyway, you take that casing back. There's 3 bolts. 1, 2, 3 Phillips heads. And this is your regulator. Comes off. So it's that simple. Now I'm going to literally do the same thing to this one. And pull it off. Actually, you guys might be able to watch it. Hold on, let me just take that. It's the old one. Alright. Right here. 13 mil. That little nut comes off. That off. Okay, that's not it. Alright, hold on. Figure that out. Alright, so now this one's loose. I'm going to take that off. And literally just transplant it to this one. Just like that, see? There we go. So now all I gotta do is take those bolts, put them back in, and then we're gonna try and put it on the car. Alright, y'all, guess what? That was the dealio. We got the alternator back on. For a real quick thing, I know my battery's about to die. To remove the front clip is super easy. I'm not gonna go over it too much because that's kind of like a whole nother video. It's not that bad. Honestly, if you have an alternator, go out and you got a Volkswagen like this, take your time to research it and don't give up on it. Like, it's gonna seem kind of really scary, but with these things, take your time, learn how it goes. To remove the front clip literally only took me not even 15 minutes. And now that I know how to do it, it probably wouldn't even take me 10 minutes. And most people gotta say, take a slow 30 minutes. Take your time to do it and learn where everything goes. It seems scary, but just push through and do it because the end is rewarding, and you don't have to pay a shop a bajillion bucks just to fix something that you can fix yourself. You take a day in time, so it's worth it to take time. But we don't have any dash lights. The charging light's not on. It hasn't shut off. We're all good to go. It was the regulator. Now, Steven mentioned a very important thing that I made a mistake on, which I do this a lot. If you have this problem, and let's say you go to use the alternator, and you want to do some Jerry stuff, you know what I'm saying? You want to swap the regulators out and return it. That's up to you. Not a suggestion, but if you do that, or if you just plain swap, the regulators, then make sure you take it and get it tested first before you put it all the way back on. Steven was like, why don't you just put it on there and go to Rise and get it tested to make sure that's what it is. Because there was a small chance that I put this thing on there and it's not the regulator, and I got to pull this whole thing off again. So it's a good point. I didn't do that. I went ahead and put it back on because I had a pretty good reason. And 9 times out of 10, like I said, the regulator is bad. Certain types of alternators, it could be other problems. But anyway, so that's it. So that's all we got. The thing running. Now I just got to put the front end back on it, put the bumper on it. Alternator's fixed. Whole week. It was a week ago today. Right now, I was sitting on the side of the road waiting for somebody to come get me. So we got it running. Everything's good. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you later.